What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Playconomics podcast, where we're breaking down the business behind the world of video games and providing you financial context for industry trends. I'm your host, Matt Mascari, and joined with me today, Bobby Kawecki. How are you doing, Bobby? I'm doing fantastic, and you know why.
I'm doing great,
it's
Matt.
Halo
I appreciate
Day.
Not only the opportunity to tell you how I'm doing, but I appreciate after 12-something years of friendship, you pronouncing my last name wrong. You colossal.
Still? That's fine.
It's not.
Whatever. It's hard to say.
I will be crying myself to
about
sleep
Halo.
tonight, but not because...
Shout out Xbox Mug. I don't care what Bobby's
It is
saying.
Halo
It
Day.
is Halo Day.
I will
not really. Yesterday was Halo Day, but we're talking about Halo. Bobby, stop talking.
You're
No, I'm
on
just
one
kidding.
today, my guy.
Tuesday.
Damn. Someone's got, Halo ants in their pants. No, I will not rob you today. I actually have some praises to sing about Xbox and Halo, but we'll get to that. Matt. I'm not going to ask you what you've been playing.
Yes, we will.
I'm guessing Apex Legends. If you want to, do you want to talk about Apex Legends, or you want to get right to it?
Real quick.
Congrats.
I'm in gold. I've made it to gold. I need platinum, then diamond. It's going. I broke my rule. I played another game. We'll get to it in a later segment. Bobby, have you platinumed whatever game you were playing?
Bloodborne.
Nope. Bloodborne.
No, closer. The Chalice dungeons, despite being wildly OP, are actually the later ones harder than I thought they were going to be. So this is going to... Before New Year, Bloodborne will be platinumed.
Oh my God.
Just with work, with life. I don't have an uninterrupted stretch of time where I can just like really dial in. But before New Year, the Bloodborne platinum will be mine. But what I have been playing, I think we've both been playing. I think what we're just gonna.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. It's
Bump it to
topic
topic
2.
one. We gotta talk about it.
Topic 1 leads into topic 2. We can't start with topic 2. We'll get through topic 1 really quick. So we got an article from Fanbyte by Imran Khan. Highlights of the article: December 13th. Power on. The story of Xbox is coming to, I think,
Paramount Plus. Yes,
it's not Paramount.
Because,
it is YouTube. Paramount Plus is going to be something else we're talking about. But Power on, the story of Xbox, is basically the inception of Xbox and its development all the way till the Xbox Series X, how they started, where they got to. Very similar to what we hope to be doing on the channel later in our Story of series, but can't wait to see that documentary. On that note, 70 backwards compatible games were added to Game Pass and the Xbox library in general. They've all gotten updates. Phenomenal time to be on Game Pass. And last but not least, Halo series coming to Paramount Plus. I've been begging for it. Everyone's been begging for it. It is a Halo cinematic universe in the making. We finally have a series. Do I wish HBO was doing it?
No, sorry. HBO only tackles real good stories. They said, what is the top story in video games? And everyone's like, Last of Us, like the godfather of video games. Like, so they're like, we'll take that. They're like, do you want Halo? And they're like, what's that about? And they're like, they're planets shaped like onion rings.
They should.
And they're like, okay, security.
Who doesn't like onion rings? Get out of here. But I don't know. I don't know what studio I wanted to, besides HBO, obviously. I wanted to pick up Halo. It wasn't Paramount. And it's not Paramount because I don't have a subscription to Paramount. And I don't want to have to buy one just to watch the Halo series. I wish Amazon had gotten it, or Hulu, Netflix. Obviously, HBO. Anything but Paramount. I'm sure they'll do a good job. The trailer looked mini teaser.
Yeah,
teaser more than a trailer.
You didn't even see who's playing Master Chief.
Yeah, it was like 5 seconds.
I'm sorry. There was so little shown in this, they might as well not have shown it at all.
They might as well have just said we're making a Halo series
of any substance.
It's big. Yeah, it's basically just a dude putting on Master Chief armor, and then in the background, Cortana says, "Hey, Master Chief," or something along the lines.
Did they announce who's playing Master Chief?
I think you see his face.
You only see
because
like
he puts
the back
the helmet
of
on
his neck. Playing.
I don't know. I was in a complete blur watching this, the 20th anniversary of Xbox, that I barely even was able to focus and take in what was happening. That's why we got this beautiful article from Fanbyte to give me the highlights real quick. But I'm pretty sure they announced it.
Liev Schreiber's brother, who was in
the
women's prison show. He was the guard with the mustache. You know what I'm talking about? Yes.
That's fine. Orange is the new black. However, I'm very okay with that, and I'm going to give you the reason why. I don't need Master Chief to be somebody that I already recognize. I needed him to be an unknown face because you don't see his face. So I didn't want him to be someone recognizable.
Fair enough.
If you had your choice, who plays Master Chief?
See, again, that's hard. I have a much easier time telling you who I think should direct the show.
Interesting.
So the one person who I think paints with a universal brush across all big budget video games, and I said this recently when the Uncharted movie was getting bandied about, and everyone's like, "Oh, this looks terrible," which it does.
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, Chris Pratt should have been Nathan Drake. Oh, Bryan Cranston should have been Sully." And I think the answer that I gave for that is the same person who I'd like to see direct a Halo TV show. Why isn't Michael Bay? Why isn't Michael Bay direct? Because hold on a second. Michael Bay catches a lot of shit for doing Michael Bay-ass things, but you're telling me if you said, Michael Bay, here is a Halo-sized TV budget, what the fans want is Master Chief at full tilt,
doing big boom,
playing only rockets and snipers. Give us 8 episodes. Only Spartan Laser? 8 episodes.
Only Spartan Laser. I agree. How do you think they're going to go about it? Do you think they're going to do an original story? A separate, I'm saying either original story where it's the same timeline and that similar events happen, but they happen differently than they played out in the games and in the books. It's before or after the events of the games.
I am very illiterate when it comes.
Or it's true.
I'm not the person to ask about this because I'm so illiterate when it comes to Halo stories. We were how old when Halo 2 came out? 7-ish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When we really, and even older, we're probably 10 when Halo 3 came out. Oh, easily the best Halo.
The best Halo.
But my point is, I didn't understand the gravitas of the story or whatever. I was just in there to, fight some aliens and play multiplayer. I'm sure if I went back, there would be a story that I could appreciate, but all I know is there's the rings, and he's this great soldier that they freeze and thaw out when the world needs saving.
Yeah, I've played them older. I've gone back and replayed them, especially since the Master Chief Collection came out and it was basically free on Game Pass. I've played them. The story's good. It's an interesting story, and I've read snippets from the books, and I've caught up enough on the Halo lore that, there's so much content for them to go through. So I'm very interested in whether or not they stay true to that, or if they kind of do their own thing. I would prefer, if they did, they still followed the events. I would like it to be loosely based on the actual content than to be a completely separate story. And I don't want a prequel.
I'll take what I can get. But again, there's so many of these video game shows popping up now. And look, for Paramount's credit, Paramount is kind of picking up the slack that AMC left off after Breaking Bad ended and Walking Dead got shitty and Mad Men ended. Like, it used to be like HBO was like where you could say fuck and show boobs on TV, and then right underneath that was AMC, where like you couldn't do that, but the storytelling and the character building with Breaking Bad, with Mad Men, was just as good. And then now, listen, I know you haven't seen it, but Yellowstone on Paramount Plus, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I thought it was going to be like Sons of Anarchy, solid 7. No, Yellowstone is like a 9. Yellowstone is amazing. And it's on Paramount.
It's on the list.
And they swear and they show boob and all that kind of stuff, right? So like, if Paramount is willing to tell a more adult story in the Halo universe, great. Like, I have no fear or trepidation that when HBO comes out for The Last of Us, it is going to be violent as all hell, gory and swearing. Like, I know that they were like, they went to HBO and they're like, hey, we make a game where if you hold square long enough, you can hear the enemy character draw their last breath. Are you the studio to help us bring that to the screen? And HBO was like, here's a dump truck full of money.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I hope they do it justice, just because there's so much to be covered in the Halo series that, like, if it doesn't go well, it's just a waste of beautifully done decades of content. And if it goes well, Paramount makes a ton of money, and we get
no matter content. What, somebody's going to win here. Whether it's the Halo show or the show based on a video game that sees what Halo did wrong and corrects it within itself, like high tide raises all boats. We're so like, I don't even think we're up to like the MCU of video game adaptations, right? You remember how before the MCU we had about 15 years of just real shit superhero movies? Fantastic Four and Hulk, but then we had Spider-Man and we had Dark Knight and then we had Iron Man, and oh shit, that popped off, and then what worked there, and boop, 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 boop. I think we're still in that early period of just trying to figure out what we are, but eventually these are going to start popping off in a big way.
I hope so, because there's just it's not untapped because they have been made, but I feel like there's such a small sample size of really, really, really good video game.
I agree, and
media.
Eventually this is going to run its course, just like with the Marvel movies right now. Like, when they're up to like the Eternals. Like, it was weird when they were like, oh, we're making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and everyone was like, who the hell is that? But they made us care. And then they're like, oh, and then this obscure character, and then this obscure character, and then now we're up to like J-list superheroes. We'll get there with games, right? Like, we'll have a Tetris cinematic universe.
I'm cool with that. That's
all
fine.
right, so if you're listening to this, we just had some massive technical difficulties. I think everyone at the same time... Everyone.
You didn't clap.
Clap at the end. No, I've saved myself for the clap. This has been spliced into the episode because we were recording and shit went sideways. But back to this. Matt.
Yep.
Let's talk about Halo, bud. Let's basically scrap any conversation we're having before. Biggest thing that they announced at obviously this Xbox showcase thing was Halo multiplayer beta.
The 20th anniversary. Do not simmer this down to just a showcase.
They announced Halo multiplayer Xbox dropping that day. That was the other day. Yesterday, 2 days ago. Yesterday. Great, awesome. And I think we're both experiencing this from very different angles. So I'd like to get your take first. And then we'll transition to my humble self.
Okay. So, since I last played Halo, I played very briefly Call of Duty, very briefly Fortnite, and then a lot of Apex Legends. Specifically, Battle Royale. And it's just so nice coming back to Halo. Because for two reasons. One, it's extremely good in its own merit. I think that if Halo launched, and this was Halo Combat Evolved, and it launched like this, it would be a good game. But because you have the solid fundamentals, the game is good, it launched ready, the Battle Pass implementation's there, the multiplayer quality's good, you have game modes, you have maps, everything you could want in a multiplayer experience is there, plus you have the nostalgia. You picked up that assault rifle, and it felt good. You switched to the pistol, which is an underrated gun in Halo 1, 2, and 3. I love it. It's my favorite gun. And it felt right. You picked up the battle rifle. And the 3-round burst felt good. The time to kill felt like it should. The shield regeneration felt correct. And it brought back all of the memories of Halo 1, 2, 3, 4,
Reach.
ODST, 5, Reach, the Master Chief Collection. It brought all of that back, and it felt like it never left. And I don't know if it was just because I was booty at the game when I was like 13 to 15, but I feel like I'm just as good as I was then, which is very sad if that's the case. But I love and hate the cadence of the game because I feel it's very, very even.
What do you mean by that?
There's a lot. So, Battle Royale, a lot of it is looting and positioning. Because I'm not one of the people that tries to get a lot of kills, do a lot of damage. I'm trying to win every time. So I get the damage, I get the kills, but I take the ones I need. Because of that play style, I have a lot of looting, a lot of wait time, and a lot of focusing on specific fights and positioning to eventually go into endgame. Because of that, there's a lot of spikes. There's a lot of high combat, high anxiety, high tacticalness, like just a complete game focus, nothing else matters. And then back to calm positioning, transitioning, and things like that. So there's a lot of ups and downs, peaks and valleys. In Halo, it's a nice, even experience. I'm always doing something that's relevant to combat. I'm always trying to, and I'm going to say positioning again, but it's a very different type of positioning. I'm not trying to get
You're watching your corners, you're understanding your lanes. It's different, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different type of positioning, and it's very even, and the whole time, I'm at like a 6 or 7 out of 10 in like, I don't want to say excitement, but like, and not attention isn't the word either. It's kind of like I'm at the perfect level of focus.
Interesting.
Where it's enough, it's enough to keep me interested, but not enough to cause any type of like, if I maintain this, I'm going to like stress. Apex, if I had to fight like that the whole game, I would be stressed. It would be stress. Because it's so anxiety-ridden to be in that fight because it's so high energy, so chaotic, and there's those peaks and valleys. Halo, it just kind of like graciously takes you through the game where you're constantly doing something, constantly enjoying yourself. There's no downtime, but the spikes are so little because of you're fighting an enemy, you either win or die, or you disengage. It's
basketball versus soccer. And what I mean by that is basketball, the score goes to whatever, hundreds, right? People are scoring throughout the game.
Yep.
Whereas in soccer, you might go 90 minutes, and when one person scores, people lose their shit. Right?
Yes.
And everything you're saying, I'm 100% with you. Do you have anything to add? Because I would love to tack on a couple points here.
No. Go tack on your points. I'll get off.
The reason I wanted you to go first is because you played this game on Xbox Series X. An Xbox. Green Machine Xbox. Yeah.
It's black now. But
so I played this game in a very mind-blowing and circuitous way. What I mean by that is, if you'll notice, Matt, in my entertainment center there, that's a PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Which doesn't play Halo. And for as much as I love, and nor should it. For as much as I love Halo, and for as much as I love my PlayStation, and I give Xbox a lot of shit in jest, the one thing I've always said and I've always been consistent with is that Game Pass and xCloud are a dominant value proposition. So good that at some point it will get everybody. And yesterday, it got me. Because I played Halo for $1, streaming it through an M1 MacBook over gigabit Ethernet, which is the big asterisk here, because I know that is what did a lot of the heavy lifting.
True.
And used a PS5 controller. And within 10 minutes, I was playing a multiplayer game of Halo Infinite. It is not perfect. And right now I'm speaking mostly to xCloud, right? It's not perfect. The graphics are, I'm sure, not what I would get on a native console on a high refresh rate HDR TV. Yeah. But they're so good that for $1, you can't find anything wrong with it.
Nope. And that's $1, just to clarify for anybody that's listening. That's $1 for Game Pass.
$1 for Game Pass. And
because it's not just Halo that you now have
because
access
then I
to.
said, okay, well, maybe Halo's their flagship title. Let me see what else is going on here. I booted up Doom 2016. Flying by. Beautiful.
Yes, you did.
Okay, what else they got? Booted up Gears 5. I haven't played a Gears since Gears 3. Guess what? I'm going to go back and play Gears 4 and Gears 5 now. I have for a month. Right?
Yep.
Through an M1 MacBook. Now, granted, M1 MacBooks are a beast. I also tried it through an iPhone.
Yeah. Sure you did.
Flawlessly. Now, granted, again, my big asterisk to all of this is my internet is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Pay a lot of money for fiber internet. Great. But god damn, I didn't want it to work as well as it works. And that's to the Game Pass aspect of it. Let's talk about the Halo as a game.
Yeah, because when was the last Halo that you
3.
played? Okay, so you haven't touched Halo in quite
3.
some time.
Played like maybe 1 or 2 more big 360 titles, and then right before Halo 4 came out, I got a PS3. And then I was balls deep in Uncharted and Infamous and Last of Us and all like the big PS3 titles, and then I was back on my Sony shit, right? I didn't play 4, I didn't play 5. And by then I was playing Call of Duty and I was playing other games, so I wasn't like as like, I miss Halo, right? But based on what I said last week when I was talking about Call of Duty Vanguard, like that gameplay loop has become familiar at this point, right? And I'm almost craving, maybe not nostalgia, but that older form of gameplay where like when something like Valorant came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. That seems like something I'd be all about if that was on console, right? So I jump into Halo, and you're right. I felt like I was like one of those like videos like the giraffes or the deer when they're just born and they can't stand upright. Like that was me. I was getting just completely obliterated. But I persevered. And I got a taste for the just unquenchable bloodlust that I sent you the pic. I sent you the photo.
Do you know my
Okay.
I did. You did. Do you know what my favorite part was? Of my whole Halo experience, the thing that brought me the most joy. The announcer.
Killing
spree. The amount that I missed.
But it's a different announcer now. My guy's a British guy. And he says like other stuff. And he's like, oh, the team. Oh,
yeah,
I
think
know
you could
that.
change your voice.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because he sounded British in mine, and I was like, "That's not right. Master Chief's not British." But oh my god, just the announcer, just hearing the double, triple, overkill, killing spree.
So while we're singing Halo's praises, not perfect. Not perfect. And what I mean by that is there's one thing that Halo, if it wants to survive, needs to get right. And that's the battle pass system, which to me, right now, sucks. It is very slow.
They'll fix it.
Fine. Beta.
They'll fix it.
And the things in the battle pass,
that's why it's a
I
beta.
don't think are that hype worthy. Like, the colors, I don't mind just running around with my gray guy because I don't really see him unless I'm dying, which doesn't happen very often now because I'm back in my. I'm back. At first, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing?" Not yet. I gotta get a couple more dubs under my belt. Maybe once we start filming here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, once Diamond has been accomplished in Apex, I think I'm gonna take a huge break from Apex and go very, very deep.
The minute you find. Minute
you're squaring up with me, like what are you Bob and Weed? What are you doing here?
It's this Halo muscle memory. It's this Halo muscle memory that while Call of Duty's fast, Halo's very calculated, and it's a different kind of game. Like I was reaching for like the aim down sights button, and then I realized no. Nobody aims down sights.
Nobody aims down
sights. And then I was like, oh man, these guns don't really do a lot of damage. And then I remembered, oh no, you open the fight with a grenade. You close the fight with a grenade. So grenade. Done. Next. Grenade. Oh, I'm out of ammo. I go to reload. Animation cancel.
Grenade first.
Melee. Like, I'm getting there and I'm learning the maps.
That's good. The maps, I think, are the maps and the gun placement. I think are the 100%. Biggest thing that's holding me back right now. This is a game that
people are going to have to learn.
Because the map, and I'm glad that I played it. I know you would think I would have played it the first day. I was very, very busy, and I'm very, very sad that I did not get to play it on the first day. I'm not going to say it. I didn't say whatever you want. Go ahead. Do the whisper. Yeah.
Demonetized.
I'm glad that I'm playing it second day because I think that once people learn the maps and the gun placements, Halo is going to get really annoying if you don't know them. Because like I tried playing Halo 3 multiplayer on like the Master Chief Collection kind of thing where I played like the past ones, and there's people just playing, they've been playing Halo 3 since Halo 3 has come out, and I would literally step and die. And I'm just like, you just know things I don't. Yeah, like they were able to they know that from when they spawn, if they step to the left a little bit and then shoot, they could headshot me
right off
as soon as I phase into the game. Yeah, so I don't want that to happen with Halo multiplayer. But the caveat to that is as much as I like the Halo multiplayer, it was never what kept me in Halo. It was how they did campaign. And I went from, I played easy mode campaign, I played regular, I played hard, and then I played legendary. And then I did legendary with all the skulls on. If they add the skull aspect into like the game again,
a thing.
It is a Halo thing. But the multiplayer got me, and it piqued my interest in Halo again. If the multiplayer hadn't come out, I would have played Halo on launch day, December 8th, probably all night. The multiplayer came out, and I'm not playing it on launch day anymore. I'm not playing it launch night anymore. I'm taking the day off of work. And I'm queuing instantly into Halo.
So I think I've said all I have to say about Halo. Is there anything you want to tack on? Because I have a very important question to ask you now. How fucked is Battlefield?
I was thinking about that as soon as they launched it. Battlefield and Vanguard are sad right now.
See,
like, Vanguard less because it's still Call of Duty. But you know what? Battlefield 2042 or whatever it is getting the same treatment that it gave Titanfall.
It's coming back around. Well, they cannibalized each other.
So I don't care what happens to Battlefield, because you know why? They shouldn't have released a game the same quarter as Halo. It was a mistake.
Because here's my thing. I agree with you that launching a big multiplayer shooter in the Q1, in that late winter, early spring window, I don't think has ever really been done before. The big shooter is usually the holiday game, right? So for a game like Battlefield that says, hey, maybe by March or late February, people are getting a little tired of COD, they're getting a little tired of Halo, maybe then we are what piques people's interest again. They chose not to. And I think they're going to get their lunch absolutely eaten. I don't think Vanguard's worried, because I think the World War II skin is like the sacrificial lamb of Call of Duty. They weren't hyped themselves on it, so they're like, yeah, whatever, we're still going to be the best-selling game of the year.
And let's be honest, a complete aside, Activision
They'll be
Blizzard
like,
has
what happened to Call of Duty?
more things to worry about.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Like, we're currently working on all of our
Don't
PR
worry,
issues that continue to come
boys
up.
and squirrels.
So,
I'm not going to talk about Activision Blizzard today. We're not going to do it.
No. I've had
need a
enough.
break
It's
from
bad.
Bobby K.
Don't just... Yeah.
As do most of the board members.
Jesus Christ.
And that woman he threatened to kill. But anyway.
Yeah. Jesus. Somebody at Activision watched the podcast. Maybe fire Bobby Cott. Like, maybe. But we digress. Battlefield is royally upset with themselves for not delaying this launch. And I think they knew what was happening. It's not like, oh, maybe Halo doesn't launch really well because of like last year, if they had released Battlefield, I could be like, oh, maybe Halo has a lot of bugs because it was rushed and it was this. They took a year to polish Halo. There is no game in the world that could compete or that would want to compete. I'm sure there's games that could go toe-to-toe with a prime, well-polished, well-developed, adequately funded, adequate time given to it Halo.
But
there's games that could
after such a long hiatus.
Nobody would want
and here's
to.
My thing. I think what Halo has going for it, not the fact that it's expertly polished. The beta is very bug free. They took their time. They really had to nail this one.
Launch unsung hero. I didn't hear a lot about launch day issues, like of people trying to get into it and not having enough servers. I heard a little bit of a wait time when it first got announced and things like that. I feel like, that was remedied very quickly.
If we got a new Halo every year, then I'd say that this is a different conversation. But because we haven't gotten a new Halo in a very long time, the excitement is in the stratosphere. And what I will eat my hat on, because I said it a couple episodes ago, I said they would not shatter drop Halo like this. I'm willing to eat my hat here. I did not think that it was in a state to be done.
There was too many, but just think, like, multiplayer was free. Besides having Game Pass. How many people, and I wish we could pull up the numbers. We didn't do the prep work to pull up the numbers. How many people downloaded it? Yeah. But $10 per person.
You mean Game Pass?
No, for the Battle Pass.
I think
most
everybody
people are buying
except
that
me,
Battle Pass.
honestly, is buying that Battle Pass.
Yeah. That Battle Pass gave them a huge revenue spike that wasn't even the $60 purchase of the game.
But here's where it gets interesting. Because it's going to launch on Game Pass, do you think we still see a big sales bump? I don't think so. I think Halo gets played mostly through Game Pass.
The campaign is not on Game Pass.
Are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure, but I have Game Pass, and it's still going to charge me, like, it's still listed on Xbox as $60.
Ass here.
Yeah. Hold on. I could go on my Xbox right now and see if I can buy it.
Hold on, everybody.
Actually, I could go on my Xbox app. And also, Xbox app, good job. I don't know who designed it. You need a promotion. Let's see.
Let's see here.
Campaign. I really don't think the Halo Infinite campaign is going to be on Game Pass.
Whether it is or it isn't, I'm curious to see how much of the revenue split is Battle Pass versus hard copy bought, right?
I don't think they care because it'll just
not for
Game Pass
nothing.
Subscriptions. There's people.
If I hadn't thought of or seen on Twitter the Game Pass thing, I said last week I was ready to go out and buy a Series S, which was going to be a much bigger price tag than the. And again, $1.
Love to see it. I would be interested to see next time you come over, I swing by your place. I might bring my Xbox and see. No, and just see what the difference is between
100%.
you playing on xCloud. I really don't think it's going to be that much.
Maybe I got to get my sensitivity dialed in. I got to get real lethal because once I am, there's no stopping me.
Yeah. There was an Apex
game. You put me in Call of Duty.
I know it
me
is.
in COD.
I know. I was upset with your performance in Apex. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You're like, all right, so what's the difference between heavy and light ammo?
See, that's what I don't like about, like, it's an energy weapon. Anyway, I'm not here to shit on Apex. It's a Halo-centric episode, an Xbox-centric episode. Do you have anything to add to sing Halo Infinite multiplayer beta's praises right now?
I need to look at the Battle Pass more, but I think you are correct. We've discussed that it's slow. I've played quite a bit, and I haven't made a lot of progress on the Battle Pass, which, in all fairness, is really, really, I'm tempted to buy the extended Battle Pass that gets me up to level 25.
And then just start buying.
Just because, why not?
Just buying unlocks. Because you can't earn them yourself. I understand. You're not.
Yeah.
Bro, we're jumping into a game after this. I don't care.
What I would like to do is I would like to see them incorporate campaign into the multiplayer. And what I mean by that is I want campaign thing. Like, I want my progress in campaign.
Multiplayer in some way?
Like, even if it's just a set of shoulder pads for beating this level on Legendary. Kind of like it was in the old Halos. But, like, I want other things besides just a Battle Pass as ways to collect pieces of armor. And kind of the way, and I don't know if you're familiar, but, like, Apex has the badge system,
with
which
your
I think
Dew,
needs a lot of work.
Or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah, it was Monster, and I did stop doing that because
your
I
cardiologist
stopped wanting to buy them and
told you that
uploading.
he would just stop seeing you.
Yeah, and no, it was just really the uploading the receipts was a hassle, and So they have the badge system, and Apex doesn't do anything with it. Like, you have this badge and you can put it on your character so that when you load in, people know that you killed 20 people in one match or did 4,000 damage or you're this rating, and that's fine and great. But I want my character to look.
There's that like Halo samurai armor.
So like,
looks cool as shit. I want that.
Yeah. I think it was Halo 3 where they introduced that, where you had the freaking katana on your back, and I don't even remember how to get it.
I tell Nicole all the time.
But I never got it.
I want samurai armor. She won't let me. I would like but the full getup, right?
Obviously. What are you just gonna get the with breastplate thing?
Like you imagine you go down a 7-Eleven for a pack of smokes,
outfit.
And I walk in with samurai armor to get a coffee.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you running?
I don't know.
Are you asking for a photo?
Like, no, that's what
I'm
saying.
Don't be intimidated. Like, you're immediately protected.
Are you in character?
Because if like a shadow demon comes out from the Slurpee machine, done. Don't stay in the Slurpee machine.
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about?
Samurai armor from Halo. But what I just hope that they do right by the cosmetics in it. Because what I've seen from the Battle Pass so far is they have like the flaming armor where like
I've seen that.
Faces and your shoulder, and it's cool. They have the stances, which I really like in the beginning. And I know it'll probably get old because it's a time sink to watch them introduce each player and have them pan across the screen.
When it zooms into your player, it just zooms in and then you're in the game. It's really cool. It's really fucking cool.
It's great. Yeah, I do enjoy that. However, I think that they need to give you top-notch cosmetics. And I haven't seen anything. I didn't dive too much into the Battle Pass itself. Did you see any weapon cosmetics?
Looked at the Battle Pass.
Where you're changing the
Battle Pass. What I will say is I want Master Chief in a tuxedo t-shirt. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah. With the helmet still on.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we've sung Halo Infinite's praises enough. Let's tack on one final bit of Xbox news here. Go ahead, put the cigarette out in my eye, rub the salt in the wound. Yeah.
Love to see it. However, the last topic that we have is another Halo or another Microsoft Xbox praise singing, a great purchase, just the pinnacle of what I want to see from Xbox and Microsoft. And it's brought to you by the Verge article by Jay Peters. I'm just going to paraphrase it because I don't feel like directly quoting him because he did a really good job beautifully wording it. The link will be in somewhere on the YouTube video, the podcast. Paraphrased basically to say Xbox and Microsoft bought Bethesda for a reason, and it was to make first-party games, and it was to make them exclusives.
Well, I know what you're going to say, so just get to the headline here, bud.
And it's because they more or less said that Elder Scrolls 6 will not be on PlayStation and will not be on Nintendo. However, what they said was that they bought Bethesda to make these games first-party games. He didn't say anything about... He hinted at the exclusivity of them. If they don't come out for PlayStation 5 and Nintendo or the Switch...
Oh, yeah.
I think they will. I don't think it's going to be something where... One, I think they're going to be free on Game Pass, which, Jesus, the amount of value that I will be getting out of Game Pass by getting all these games for free... I might play Forza.
Looks cool as shit,
I haven't played a driving game. I would never pay $60 for a racing game just because that's not the content I want to take in. But I already have Game Pass. I might as well download it. Back to Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6, I think, is going to be on a delayed release. It's going to come out for Xbox. It's going to come out on Game Pass. You're going to be able to play it 6 months to a year. Then it's going to drop on PlayStation. Then it's going to drop on Nintendo. And it's going to rake in money.
I don't know.
Microsoft.
I agree with you on that timed exclusivity thing. I 100% think don't think that.
Yeah.
if Xbox can make $3 on Xbox, but could make $3 on Xbox, $1 on PlayStation, and $1 on Nintendo, that's $2 they're leaving on the table. So why wouldn't they, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're charging people full price for the PlayStation and Switch version, which is a great incentive to them be like, hey, let's come on over to Xbox. All right? I don't think people care as much about the Elder Scrolls as I think people care about the Elder Scrolls. I think we've been so inundated by Skyrim for 10 years now.
You're insane. You're insane. I would murder somebody for a new Elder
I'm a
Scrolls
Fallout guy, but I understand where you're coming from.
But yes, I understand where you're coming from, but Fallout's going to be the same thing. So like it's not, I think Elder Scrolls just pushes the like I think it's Starfield, right? I believe it's coming out on everything because that was already in the work. No, it's Xbox and PC exclusive. Get wrecked, everybody. But that was in development before Bethesda was purchased. So this is the first game that's going to be developed with Microsoft owning it. And it's not coming out on everything. And that's set the precedent that they're either going to be delayed releases or these are our games now. And now you're going to start seeing, I think, actually, we have one more topic after this. Actually, we didn't prep it. We'll just do it in a YouTube short or an Instagram short. We'll talk about the Game Awards and who got snubbed, who didn't. We'll figure out some way to get that content with you. We're definitely going to react to it. However, you're going to start seeing Game of the Year
from Xbox
contenders
with an Xbox Studio
out of
badge.
Xbox.
I 100% agree with you. And this was the thing that Sony had to worry about. Because if Microsoft can get their ducks in a row, they have so many studios under their belt where even if 80% of them are firing on all cylinders, that's still more. That would mean that every Sony game would have to be a 10 to compete with the quality versus quantity battle there.
Yeah.
Then I'm 100% with you. I think once we start seeing big things like the Hellblade 2, like Elder Scrolls, Starfield, all that kind of stuff, then the competition really heats up. And I think that puts Sony on a back foot, which is a very dangerous Sony, because then they start to get real lethal.
That's when Wolverine 2 comes back-to-back releases. That's where they make VR Wolverine, and you just hand them the rest of your money. Just all of it that you have.
If
you
they
just,
listen,
here you go, Sony.
Mark Zuckerberg, he listens to the podcast. Okay, I know I have it on good authority.
I've heard he does.
That the Z-Man, Marky Z, and the
I heard
Marky
from Gary
Z,
V. That
Marky
who also
Z and
listens
the Meta
to the
bunch,
podcast.
They listen, and he was like, Bobby doesn't want to jack into the metaverse. He doesn't want to plug in. How can we get Bobby to really consider buying an Oculus?
He wants
to
claw himself.
And they said, what is one game that Bobby loves with his whole heart? Oh, it's Resident Evil 4. What if we put Resident Evil 4 on Oculus? Listen to me. I know Resident Evil 4 VR is going to come into PSVR, and that's the only reason I didn't run out and buy a fucking Oculus for Resident Evil 4 VR. Because everything I've seen about the game is like, now, please, yes.
Yeah. It's cool. I played it. It's really fun.
That's what Xbox is doing, right? Where they're like, hey guys, look what we got. Dangling that carrot on the string. You want to do some Game Awards stuff? Or what do you want to do?
I mean, we have time.
Well,
we're only
from the first
minutes.
half, and then I
want to
edit it, and it's going. We'll do game. We'll do a reaction to Game Awards.
I'm down.
I think I have an idea for Game Awards, but a little bit, maybe a shorter episode, a little more condensed, fast and loose episode. Some technical issues here.
We're excited.
We get you the news as soon as we can. Okay, not like these other podcasts. Okay,
Xbox. granted, this is probably, we're filming this on time. Like, I need you to know that we're filming this the day this news is breaking, the day after this news is breaking.
It's your problem. Break into my house,
when it's
steal
old
the files,
news.
edit them yourself,
That's
and
your
publish
problem.
the episode on our RSS feed.
You know what you could do? You could instead join our Discord and Patreon.
Then you'd have early access.
If you did that, we would give you the episode early. And maybe you get the news on time.
What a value prop that is,
That's
man.
up to you.
Damn.
You're getting your news late because you're not on our Patreon.
And you're not hearing
on our Discord.
these hot,
this is a you problem.
takes because you're not in the Discord. So join the Discord, leave us good reviews, subscribe, share with your friends who you think would benefit from hearing our content. And
we have
the blender in. The QR code's on the screen.
Where's the QR code?
QR code's on the screen. The social links are in the
somewhere.
description.
It's always on the screen.
And until next time, always be gaming. I love you. I'll see you next week.
You know it.